All right, everybody, get ready, because today we are diving headfirst into one of the biggest debates in sports history.
Oh, yeah.
Who is the GOAT of basketball?
It's the question that never dies
It really never does.
and sparks debate everywhere.
It does. And we're talking, of course,
Yes.
Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron.
Of course.
But, we wouldn't do a deep dive on just, like, the surface level on this.
Right.
We're going deep.
Yeah.
We found a really cool article that goes way beyond the box scores and the highlights.
Yeah, this is really in depth.
It really, really is.
It's really fascinating.
It's like a cultural deep dive, too, on these three, because they each, represent, like, a different era of basketball.
Yeah, and what I really liked about this is how it connects each player to the evolution of the game.
Yes. Like, okay, so reading this article, it was like I time traveled.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't just about their accomplishments. It was like what it felt like to watch them play, during their time.
Yeah, it really captures that feeling, that aura
Yeah.
that these guys had. That's what made them larger than life. It's the stuff of legends.
Absolutely. So let's start with, like, the OG GOAT candidate, Michael Jordan.
Right.
And this article goes deep on his competitiveness.
It really does. It goes beyond just saying he was competitive.
Yeah.
It breaks down how he cultivated that intensity, like it was an art form or something.
Yeah.
Like there's this one story in here about how during the 93 finals, he sees his own teammate,
No way.
E.J. Armstrong, wearing a competitor's shoe,
What?
like a Nike competitor.
Oh, wow.
And it apparently like messed with Jordan's head. He was like completely thrown off his game.
Oh, my God.
That's how like locked in he was, that level of focus. It's crazy. He wanted to dominate every single detail. Incredible.
Like, he saw it as, like, a sign of disrespect or something.
Right.
Even though it's his own teammate, that's crazy.
Exactly.
It's insane.
But it wasn't just about, getting in his opponent's heads. The article also talks about how he honed his actual skills on the court.
Yeah, like, I feel like everybody remembers Jordan for those, like, amazing dunks.
Oh, of course, the free throw line dunk.
Iconic. But he got so much better than just dunking as his career went on, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like early on, he realized that athleticism would only take him so far. So he
Right.
put in the work to like really master the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Especially his mid-range game.
Uh-huh.
He even like sought guidance from, the legendary coach Tex Winter to develop that iconic fadeaway jump shot. I mean, talk about dedication.
Oh, my gosh. Talk about basketball IQ.
Absolutely. That's what set him apart.
Okay, so that's Jordan, the ultimate competitor, always pushing the limits.
Right.
Okay, now let's talk about the guy who, like, modeled his game after MJ Kobe Bryant.
Right.
What's so fascinating about Kobe
Yeah.
is that he represents this link between different eras in basketball.
He's like that bridge
Yes.
between the Jordan era and like the modern NBA.
Yes,
And what I find fascinating is that Kobe idolized Jordan,
totally.
but he didn't just copy him.
Uh-huh.
He took that inspiration and carved out his own path.
Right.
And the article calls this the Mamba mentality.
Yes, and the article digs into that so well.
Yeah.
Like, for Kobe, it wasn't just about mimicking MJ's moves on the court. It was about adopting that same insane work ethic.
Oh, absolutely. Like, the article talks about how even when Kobe was young, he was obsessed with mastering his craft.
Yeah.
Like, he would spend his off seasons studying game film.
Really?
Instead of partying or whatever.
Wow.
He was breaking down his weaknesses, practicing moves he hadn't even perfected yet.
Wow.
That's dedication.
That's insane. And it really shows, right? Like, the article mentions that he holds the record for the most missed field goals in NBA history.
Yeah, that's a stat you see thrown around a lot.
But the article doesn't frame it as a negative.
Right.
It actually frames it as this, like, almost like a badge of honor,
It's like, this guy was so committed to being great that he wasn't afraid to fail.
It shows his unwavering commitment to taking the shot,
Yeah.
no matter what. Even if it meant failing, he was going to keep shooting.
Yeah.
That's Mamba mentality.
It's kind of inspiring, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. It really is. He was all about pushing past those limits. Okay, so we got Jordan, master of intensity,
Uh-huh.
and Kobe, the relentless pursuer of, like, perfection.
Right.
So that brings us to LeBron James,
Yes.
a player who often gets compared to both Jordan and Kobe, but honestly, he kind of created his own lane,
Yeah, he did. He really did.
And it's interesting because LeBron's career, I think, really shows how basketball itself has evolved.
100%.
Like, if Jordan represented, like, athletic dominance,
Uh-huh.
and Kobe was all about, like, relentless scoring.
LeBron is all about versatility, basketball IQ. that's the hallmark of the modern MKA, according to this article.
Yeah. It's like he sees the whole court like a chessboard, and he's always thinking, like, 5 moves ahead.
Yes, exactly.
But the article does point out that, I mean, even with all that talent, LeBron's journey to the top wasn't easy.
Oh, no, not at all. Like, remember his first finals appearance back in 2007?
Oh, yeah.
He was only 22 years old, going up against the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, that's right. He was so young.
A veteran team.
They swept him.
They swept him. I bet a lot of people thought, okay, that's it for LeBron.
Yeah, for sure. But this article, it actually talks about how that was like a huge turning point for him, even though he lost.
It was a crucial learning experience. He could have easily just let that defeat, like, crush him, but instead he used it as fuel. The article actually quotes his coach at the time, Mike Brown, and he said that LeBron spent that whole offseason, like, obsessively watching game film, studying his mistakes, working on his weaknesses.
It's amazing. Even in defeat, he found a way to, like, turn it into something positive. That's such a good lesson.
Yeah, it is. And it's not just about talent with these guys. It's about their mindset.
Yes.
How they deal with adversity, how they bounce back.
Totally.
And that actually leads perfectly into another important point that the article makes about LeBron, his impact off the court.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, this article doesn't shy away from that at all.
No, it doesn't. And they really delve into his social activism, how he's been willing to speak out against injustice. That's become a major part of his legacy.
He's not afraid to use his platform to, like, really make a difference.
Exactly. And he's using it to inspire change. It's pretty powerful.
It is really powerful. I love that we're, like, dissecting their careers, their stats, and everything.
Yeah.
But this article does a really good job at, like, humanizing these guys too.
It does.
Like, it gives you these little anecdotes, like glimpses into who they are when they're not on the court.
Oh, really?
Like, remember that story we were just talking about with Jordan, and he saw his teammate wearing the competitor's shoes?
Oh, yeah. That's classic MJ.
Classic MJ, and it's like a little insight into his mindset.
It is. Or how about this? The article mentions that even though Kobe was known for being, like, super intense, he was a huge advocate for women's basketball. Like, he mentored players like Diana Taurasi, even coached his daughter Gianna's team.
I love that.
It showed a different side of him, a nurturing side that often gets overlooked because of, how intense he was on the court.
It's true.
It's like these guys are more than just, like, these one-dimensional players.
Yeah.
They're complex people with different passions and interests off the court.
It really does. It just, like, adds another layer to who these guys are beyond the court,
For sure. And that's what makes the whole duo debate so fascinating.
Right.
Like, this article, it doesn't just list stats. It really digs into how each player's story connects with a whole generation.
Totally. Like, each player kind of embodies the values of the time, right?
Absolutely. So for people who grew up watching Jordan, it was about witnessing something almost superhuman. Like, he was the definition of what it meant to be the best.
Right, like peak athleticism.
Exactly. Peak athleticism and, like, this iron will to win. He never backed down from a challenge.
Totally. And then you have Kobe, who he was all about hard work and dedication.
Absolutely. That Mamba mentality was all about pushing boundaries, working harder than anyone else, and never giving up, even when things got tough, which really resonated with, like, the millennial generation. It was about owning your journey no matter what.
And now we have LeBron, who really shows us what it means to be a leader, both on and off the court. You know what I mean? Like, he's using his platform to make a real difference in the world.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to speak out for what he believes in.
Yeah, and he's shown us that greatness isn't just about how many points you score or how many championships you win. It's about using your voice to make a positive impact on the world around you. He really redefined what it means to be a role model for this generation.
It's really incredible to think about how these three players have had such a massive impact, not just on basketball, but, like, on society as a whole,
For sure. And the best part is there's no right answer to the Joe debate. It's about appreciating what each of these legends brought to the game,
That's so true. So who do you think embodies basketball greatness the most? Is it Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron?
It's such a tough question, But while we've been focusing on these NBA legends, this article really got me thinking, how does this idea of basketball greatness translate to, like, other leagues or different eras? What about the women's game?
Those are really interesting questions.
Right. It's like this conversation is way bigger than just one article or one debate.
It really is. It makes you really think about all the different ways that people can be great.
Totally. And that's what makes it so fascinating.
It really does. So to everyone listening, we want to hear from you. Who defines basketball greatness for you? Hit us up on social media and keep that conversation going. Until next time, keep diving deep.